Everyone, my name is Leo. I'm 18 years old and I bring you to programming AI stuff. And so, right now, I'm currently building my first AI agent web app. And so, throughout the weeks, I'll just show you guys the progress I've made the week before and so on until we get a beautiful finished project. Yeah, so let me give you guys a bit of context on what this project is all about. So the goal for this project is to build a schedule that will be a schedule app that will be managed by an AI agent. So basically, put a brain inside a schedule. And so yeah, that's basically it. Just for example, let's say you have an exam or something at your work, and you put it in your schedule with the AI, and I want the AI to reorganize or organize the current schedule based on that event. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And so last week I showed you guys the basics on what I've done because right now we can add task and we can see the task on the list menu. So yeah, last week we've done that. And so now this week I'll show you guys what I've. Okay, and like I told you, here we have the task form where we could add task and the task would just get displayed underneath right there. And so last week there was no actual task that were being displayed on the calendar. However, there was a calendar, but it didn't do anything. And so right now you can see that every task on the list view will it get displayed on the calendar directly. And so if I click on a task, for example, well, I can edit the task. And so let's say we put test 1 to replace test 2. So we save it, and as you see, it get update there and also on the list view. And I can also change the date. So let's say on the 16th, and so save, and here you go. You can also delete the task now. And so this is a bit like the same way as how we created task last week, where the front end was speaking to the back end. So I'll show you guys right on the app.js file here. So as you can see here, what I've highlighted, you have the calendar component, and so here the event prop getter event, well, this is actually your events getting displayed, so the task. And so here we have the event. So this take each events that you have on your list of task, which the list of task is here, and I'm gonna show you guys what the events refer to. So yeah, so just take in mind that the events it's an array of tasks, and so the event prop getter, well, it takes in the array event by event. And so let me show you guys where we fetch the task and apply it to events. So let me just see right there. And so as you can see just here, we create an object event where we actually get each task. Yeah, we just get the task ID, task title, we apply the due dates, and yeah, so that's just how we fetch it. And you can also see that it gets sent to the get post there because it's related to the task, and the task is on the get end post. Yeah, and the get refers to the main.py file right there, and it just go fetch your task into the database and it returns it. So yeah, that's pretty much how this works. Also, I've managed to because before last week we can only add task, and so right now you can also add exam. So this was a bit just like a test to see, because I've added last week also, show you guys, there was different models. So as you can see, we had task, exam, project. So I wanted to try if I added new models, will it work, you know? And so yeah, it works. And so eventually, maybe, I don't know if I'm not quite sure if I'm gonna keep this feature on, but yeah, for now it will do the job. And yeah, just for the demo. And so each task or exam gets assigned into the database to a different category. So it gets separate. Yeah, separate. And eventually, also I could add a color coding task type thing. And yeah, also I'm gonna show you guys one thing that I've added. And so wait a moment. Yeah. So I've added a date range to the actual task. So right there on the main, right there. So because before, when you fetch a task, well, you can only fetch every task basically that is in the database. But what I've wanted to do is, let's say for example, you just want the task for this week. So you say to the AI, well, okay, I just want to affect the task on this week. And so if the AI just gets every task, well, it's just gonna trip. And so yeah, I've managed to add, as you can see right there, a query filter. And so this just say to the, let's say to the database getter, well, okay, if we have a start date and an end date when we request to get data, well, just take that in mind and send that to the database, so it sent us the appropriate date range. But if there's no start date and end date, well, it just act as normal. So yeah, that's basically what I've done this week. I've actually struggled a bit on some. Most of the time, it's I struggle on just common errors. So maybe I'll just have a comma, that was not supposed to be there, and it would just destroy everything. So yeah, the main challenge right now is just figuring out what these little errors are. And just for example, the part where I showed you where you could edit the task and save it. And yeah, so I couldn't manage to do that because each time I tried to edit the task, and let's say for example, instead of AAA, we could say test 123. And so when I tried to save, well, the date right there was empty. And so the database receiving an empty date, yeah, well, it would just throw an error because it would say, well, what is that? It's not a task. Because if you remember right, we have here the criteria for what a task is, and you need a due date. And so if there's no due date, well, your backend is just like, what the hell is that? And so yeah, but eventually I just figured out that it was just a wrong. I didn't put the object name right. So yeah, it's little errors like that that makes you lose a lot of time. But yeah, that was pretty much only it for this week. But I'm very excited for next week because we're gonna start to add a AI agent into the actual schedule AI manager. So yeah, I'm gonna try connecting OpenAI API inside of it and try giving prompt to my AI agent. I'm still trying to figure out how this is gonna work. But yeah, I'll update you guys, and I hope you like the video and stay tuned for what's next. Thank you guys.